Hello, baseball fans. Hope everybody's doing awesome out there, staying safe. Haven't hit subscribe? Please do so. Brand new YouTuber, so really appreciate your support. Plus, we're going to have some prizes coming up, so if you're a subscriber, you're going to get in on that as well. So, the MLB trade deadline has come and passed. Did a previous vlog where we talked about the MLB trade winners. So, I thought today we could talk about the MLB trade losers. That's right, 3 teams that just came up short, didn't do enough, or seem completely lost come MLB trade deadline time. And talking about teams that are lost, well, let's get this list started with nobody else but the Boston Red Sox. That's right, the Boston Red Sox, they've been on a horrible losing streak. They look like one of the top teams in the American League. And then just before MLB trade deadline time, they were kind of like the Giants, right on the cusp where they could have made some moves to still make the wild card. But you also knew that there were some aggressive teams ahead of them, like the Blue Jays, Astros, Yankees, teams like that. So what did Boston go out and do? Well, they traded Varquez only to get Peanuts back, and then traded Diekman, one of their top-end relievers, for Reese McGuire, who's kind of a third-rate catcher. So you traded a catcher away, got nothing back, trade away one of your stars to get a catcher. That's a lost team to me. On top of that, they signed a bunch of oldies, but maybe goodies, and Pham, and then they got Eric Hosmer for nothing. But both of these players are the north side of 34-year-olds for Pham, going to be 31 for Eric Hosmer. Hey, and the Padres are giving Hosmer away, so that's never a good sign. And on top of that, they made no good moves to try to trade away Bogarts or J.D. Martinez. Either you stack around these players for the last year of their run, and if you're not going to stack around them, at least do your fan base the justice to trade them out for some prospects. They didn't either. So that's why they're on my list. And talking about teams that should have traded away players for prospects, this goes to number 2, and it belongs to the Chicago Cubs. That's right, we can't say anything about the Chicago Cubs not adding talent because they weren't in a playoff picture to begin with. But holding on to Wilson Contreras, why? For some fan love? Even the fans are forgiving at Wrigley. They're one of the most forgiving fan base in all of baseball. They were prepared for Wilson Contreras to leave. And what did the Cubbies do? Now they kept him on for another half season, only to probably see him leave as a free agent. They're not going to get nothing in return to him. And on top of all that, Wilson Contreras said, hey, if the Cubbies trade me away, I totally understand, and I'm still willing to come back with them in the offseason. So they could have traded him away, got a top 100 prospect maybe for him, and then saw him re-sign in the offseason. I don't know what the Cubbies are doing. Same thing they could have done with Marcus Stroman. He's got 2 years left before he's going to opt out of that contract probably. And the exact same thing about Ian Happ. I know they have Happ for next year, but if they would have traded him with a year and a half of service, this is an opportunity for the Cubbies to get 2, maybe 3 top 100 prospects. Then they come up with goose eggs. That's right, a big nothing. And last on my list, I hate to say it, it's going to be my Toronto Blue Jays. That's right, with teams like the Yankees, the White Sox, the Astros, all making huge moves around to really push themselves deep into that playoff race. I think the Jays came up short. They needed bullpen relief big time, including an aggressive 8th inning or maybe a closer, especially with Romano blowing another save lately. They did add some bullpen help, and I'm kind of happy with Anthony Bass and Zach Pop, but we still are missing that big 8th inning guy. We got bullpen help, just not the quantity or the quality of bullpen help we really needed. And on top of that, we didn't get a lefty bat. I know we went out and got Merrifield, he got vaccinated, so things are looking good there, but still not happy with not getting the bullpen help, and certainly not happy with getting another rotation piece. However, we did get Mitch White, and I'm going to do a vlog on him because I think he's an interesting candidate and could be a steal of the MLB trade deadline. But just because he's a steal doesn't mean he's a piece that's going to get us through. He's going to be like Clay, like Ross Stripling in a way. We're going to be able to mold him into a solid starter, certainly a number 5 starter, but still somebody who could be a rotation and an insurance piece. But not a top-end starter like Noah Syndergaard or Rodon. Players that the Jays could have gone out to make a statement. Yeah, we're here. We're going to be going into the playoffs, and watch out, we're going deep. Now the Jays are like, hey, we're going into the playoffs, and I don't know what's going to happen. Fingers crossed. I mean, we don't want to sweep early exit like we did last year with Tampa. Or, sorry, 2 years ago with Tampa. Anyways, rambled on enough. Let me know what you think in my comments below. Is there any teams on there that should have been added to the 3 losers list? Any one of your teams that wish you would have done a little bit more? Always like your comments. More importantly, I hope everybody hit subscribe if you haven't already. And even more important than that, stay safe, everyone. We'll talk soon.